a number of things that he has done, all these atrocities. You know, this guy should be, I don't know what's wrong with this guy.
Yeah, something's definitely wrong with him.
Brilliant.
But remember, he made a statement: give away our lands and give away and continue DSH, and we will fight you. DSH is way over 2 years, and I didn't see any fight. And like you said earlier, Brother Peter, it's just a bluff, a psychological.
No. I do support Peter. That I don't think that's a bluff. These fellas they plan, and if you don't do put checks and balances, these fellas gonna take you off, man.
Yeah, that is true, because you remember they burnt some heavy equipment when they were trying to grade the place for the racetrack. Remember that, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So they will not do it themselves, but by their words, they will encourage people who do not know better to go and do their criminal acts for them.
Yeah, that is correct, man. I am so worried about my country. I mean, the educated fellas are disappointing, man. Disappointing.
Yeah, well, caller, if you don't have anything to fall back on, just like myself, I do my little work down at the airport, and if the airport is shut down, I saw it a few last year. I was struggling, still struggling, but I was struggling deeply because there was no airport. These guys, the only time they could function is when they're in government.
Correct.
They don't have anything to fall back on.
That's right.
Just like me. You understand? There's no business. None of them has a business. There's no farm. They don't have any bananas anywhere. There's nothing. So they will do anything in their power, caller, to get back in there.
Anyway, I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. Don't allow that to prevent you from sleeping, though, caller. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
20 past.
All right, beautiful. All right, it is we're going up to 12:30, St. Lucia. We have another 10 minutes because Sir Michael said that we start off late. A beautiful afternoon to you. Hello.
Good morning, St. Lucia.
Well, it's afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon. Yeah, it's afternoon, you're right. Good afternoon, the elderly statesman, the guru statesman.
Mr. Bermuda, tell us all about yourself this morning.
You found a new name.
So Michael, I have some friends that will sit down and listen to you all day, all night. So you and Sir Peter Josie, you all better bring your pajamas at the station. Okay? You have friends in Bermuda and friends in the U.S. Okay? That's the definition to pass on to y'all. Now, let's go to business. Good morning to my Conway and Barnard Hill, Daniel Road people. Now, let's get down to the brass tacks now. That SLP, they're not supposed to go to the hospital, not even if sick. Not even if they're dying. I say, you guys laughing. I say, listen, Kenny Anthony promised to open St. Jude 7 times.
Yeah.
I've been around 4 times, a total of 11 times. Who does that?
Yeah.
Who does that? And then refused by great Prime Minister. By the way, let me say this before I continue. So, Michael, I always say to you, your son, Sir Alan Michael Chastanet is the greatest leader on the planet.
Wow.
Okay. Let me give you my definition of that now. Let me give you my proof. President Joe Biden is following his step. He's borrowing $2.something trillion for the structure of USA. Singapore is doing the same thing. And when Canada is doing the same thing. You know who they're following? They're following the great man, Sir Alan Michael Chastanet. He leads and the rest follows. Okay? Now let me get back to Kenny Anthony, those guys. Those guys are too arrogant. I think my great Prime Minister, he goes too soft with those guys. They think they're bullies. I say, I repeat again, if they're sick, don't let them in. If they're dying, don't let them in. I say throw them overboard. Okay? I'm serious. We don't need those guys in St. Lucia. And they give in to those SFPs too much. They're not bullies. I need to be Prime Minister of St. Lucia for 1 week to see with those guys. Don't give them no invitation to see no hospital.
Okay. All right.
Police for them. Get them arrested. And Kenny Anthony, listen, y'all don't know why. Say that man behind a horse. Treat that man like Mussolini. That's what you want to treat like. He wants to treat like Mussolini. And nobody in Italy after the people of the people of Italy, that is the possibility. No Italian ever try to follow his steps because they know what will happen to them. That's
All right.
what you have to do with Kenny Anthony.
So your advice is that they don't allow them to have that visit.
I said, even if they, something you don't listen to me, you know, listen to this one.
I wonder why you say it again.
Listen to this Malawi. They call us Malawi. I call myself a Wafra.
Yeah.
But in that term, Malawi, let me tell you something. Don't get no visit, no invitation. If they're sick, don't bring them there. If they're dying, don't bring them there. Throw them somewhere else, man.
Okay. All right. Thanks a
If they're
lot.
in a flat or something, man.
Thank you.
And throw them away.
Thank you, my friend.
Don't bring them there.
Yes. All right. So, Michael,
Yes.
I remember the 2011 elections, the Labour Party in opposition at the time.
Yeah.
So Dr. Kenny Anthony had a delegation. They went to Wasco. I don't know how well you remember that. And you would have sworn they were the current government out of the deal. Let's take a call. I'll remind you on that. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Champagne,
Yes, sir.
the government should never, ever, never, ever, never allow these guys to visit Century, the new Century.
Yes.
They didn't want it. They opposed it.
Yes.
You
Criticize it.
cannot come and see it. When it's
Thank
finished,
you, caller.
if you wanna, you come and visit a friend. You come and visit. I not bring you and see nothing you didn't want to see.
Thank you,
Okay,
caller.
that's my
Yes.
take on it.
I understand. But is there, do we know, and Brother Peter is here, he was a parliamentarian, do we know if there's anything that is governing where the parliamentarian has to visit government projects or sites?
I believe it's only if it's only an official thing, man, Champagne.
Champagne, I think that is for members of the government too.
Yeah,
Okay.
an official invitation caller, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that the leader of the opposition and parliamentarians ought to be invited if it's an official government
Okay.
function.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just
You
not
can't
an
just go
impromptu visit, no.
No, an impromptu to an unfinished project?
Yes.
No, I don't think there's
Okay.
any protocol
And
in place for
Champagne,
that.
you see that
Okay.
thing about every time Neville Stack has to come down, they walking out?
Yes.
I in Neville Stack place
You would
any
come,
function. Any function.
every
at
house
government
sitting, you would make yourself available.
No, I'll make myself available. And number two, any function at government house,
Yes.
official or otherwise,
You wouldn't invite
and
them.
any of them fellas come there, I'm making the police and put them.
Caller, I'm turning your idea into a joke, okay?
Yeah.
I'm turning your idea into a joke, okay?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we have to make light so as to see the foolishness of people.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that can be done, and remember, I said it's only a joke. Tell them we'll invite them, but Sir Neville Snack will be there to welcome them.
Oh boy.
Good
Oh
idea.
boy. That is a great idea.
You
Yeah,
know?
that is
Or
that
if
would
they-
be something.
If they win the election, Champagne,
Yeah.
if they win the election,
Which-
God forbid they win it,
Yeah.
the swearing, I am making myself absent.
Caller, there's no
Caller,
winning in the
caller,
Labour Party in
caller,
this election.
listen to me. The only thing we have to discuss in these elections is whether the United Workers' Party can win Beaufort North
Yeah.
and Beaufort South. I
Yeah.
think we'll give them library.
Well, I don't know. I don't
For
want
now.
I
For
don't want to give
now.
them anything.
More than ever, this is on the horizon.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't want to give them
So
anything.
this
seriously,
election
these
might
guys.
be a 17-0 or 16-1 situation.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and trust me, this is what is going to happen. I can see it
I
happening.
have predicted it to be a 12-5 plus bonus.
Yeah, I remember you said that. So you don't believe they should visit the hospital. That is your take.
Somewhere where you come in, you didn't want it.
Ah, that's right. That is right. That's right. And they had marches, you know, caller. They had several marches by that group down there in Beaufort. What were they called? The
Concern.
concerned citizens.
Continue
Yeah,
marching.
yeah. They were concerned so much, and today they want to be in there. I mean,
No.
yeah.
They have
didn't want
lost the legitimacy to even talk about it.
I agree with that.
Boy, them people, they
I
shouldn't
agree
be
with
talking
that.
about St. Jude.
I agree
Thank
with that.
you.
Want it for what?
Let's see what and caller, here's the thing, and listen to the thing. They're demanding, you know, that they get in there tomorrow. Can you believe it?
Just so.
So they did not even give the government any time to say, okay, let us evaluate this thing. Let us see if we could
Maybe-
allow them
maybe-
tomorrow,
maybe
next week.
something-
They're demanding
something-
tomorrow.
Maybe it's their property. Maybe it's
Can
their
you believe this
property.
thing, man, with these people?
Well, we'll hear what Mr. Guy Joseph
Anyway,
said.
thanks a lot, caller. We'll
Yeah.
hear the response from Mr. Guy Joseph. Yeah, beautiful. I was telling
We're
you.
going to take up the phone a while, so you want to ask a question.
Okay, let's do that last one and then we'll take it off. Special good afternoon to you. Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Just quick.
Yeah.
You know these fellas only grandstanding their life.
Yeah.
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 That's all about it.
That's the word, grandstanding.
Yeah. The old people have something saying tout fait, tout niveau, tout bon, tout nouveau. So they don't want to work for it. Just come and it.
Just grandstanding.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want to show St. Lucians they have the authority. They could
Yes.
demand things.
I agree with that, caller.
So they should deny. They should
And it's part of the
deny
arrogance again, caller. The
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of the
yeah.
arrogance. That is what is causing that, you know.
Yeah.
Arrogant.
Same building they didn't want to see. They criticize it, they match, they do all kinds of things.
Well, that's right. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Lemon They have a date, caller. They have identified a date.
This is also the
Yeah.
mindset of an abuser. That is how abusers behave.
Yeah.
So when they give you that short notice,
Yeah.
Yeah.
give them permission.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what kind of work is going on at the moment. If you have 1,000 excavators on site, I want to be there on Thursday.
They don't have a cent in St. Jude. They have.
Yeah.
They show St. Lucians. You see, we have the authority.
Yeah. Yeah. That would speak, caller, you're bringing up a very important point. That would speak volume if these guys are granted. Listen, let me say something here. That would give these guys so much of approval or power if they were allowed to go in there tomorrow, you know.
Oh yes, man.
For such a short notice, so Michael, wouldn't you say? Because, I mean, if you write me a letter yesterday
Yeah.
and you're demanding that I get there on Thursday, 2 days later, and you're granted, you have a lot of power, you know. That
Yeah.
is powerful.
Yep.
That's a grandstand.
Not only that, because don't forget there are two sides to every story.
Yeah.
That would be their power, but it would also show weakness on the people giving them permission.
Ah, I didn't want to say that.
I support that.
That I didn't want to say.
No, you
But
must.
you're
give-
right.
Champagne, if you're going to educate people, you must give
Yeah,
them
both
every
sides of the
side
story. I agree.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right, caller.
If they come, they should be arrested.
Well,
Breaking through.
well, they shouldn't be
I-
allowed
yeah,
in
yeah,
there
to
without
tra-
permission.
To trespassing, they should
If
be
you
arrested
trespass.
for trespassing.
Yeah. And caller, listen to me. Knowing these guys, they are really looking for some form of confrontation. If they are
Yeah.
denied that entry, or they will try to cause a confrontation with security. We know them.
Everybody, anybody,
We know them.
anybody could try anything.
And caller, I would arrest the Alsatian first.
You see, when you do something unlawful, you have to meet with the law.
Yeah.
That's
The
right.
police has a responsibility to follow the directives of the government.
It's true.
If the government say there will be no visitation by these fellas, they cannot enter the compound,
Right.
that is it.
That is
you
the-
trespass that, you do it at your own risk.
At your own risk.
Thank
I
you.
agree. You're right.
That's exactly what the position must be. Not should, must be.
All right, caller.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, my friend.
Yeah, take
Yeah,
up-
I was saying in
About Wasco.
on the eve of the election 2011,
Yeah.
the former prime minister had all of his entourage, and they had a delegation at Wasco, the building there with all their suits and everything, and took over the building.
Oh,
And yes,
I was not aware of that.
oh yeah, they took over the building. They walked around the entire Wasco building and had a press conference right there.
What for?
In opposition, I think Wasco was undergoing some little problems at the time. I don't remember what it was.
Okay.
And they went in there talking about, I think, the St. Lucians are paying too much for water. And they came around and put the taxes on us.
66.5%.
You want to ask yourself, are these people for real?
Yeah.
Thank goodness. We're going to
That's a
do
bluff.
one more call. So who's going to be the lucky caller to get just one more call? And then we'll have to say our goodbyes. Any last words, Sir Michael? Okay, let's take our final call. You are our final caller for the afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon. How are you? And how are your guests?
I'm doing good, thank
Wonderful.
We're doing all right.
Yeah, I
thank you.
have a quick question. By listening to what is going on, the callers and everything went on this morning,
Yeah.
as an independent country, who are our politicians accountable to?
you. Good question.
And why aren't they supposed to feel the brunt of the law when they break the law? And even after they leave power.
Yeah.
I heard a lot about Kenny Anthony doing certain things and other people. Why aren't they called to face the law? I would like that answer.
Thank you very much. I could answer the first part. I know they're accountable to the people. I'll allow Peter to talk about the rest.
No, but the rest is the law is there for everybody,
Yeah.
so that the police commissioner,
Yeah.
whoever he or she might be, knows what the law is, ought to know. And if they're not sure, they have an attorney general. But you're right, the first thing is that they can't get there into office without the people voting them. So the overall power belongs to the people.
They're accountable for the people.
But in the law books itself, it doesn't say that the people will come and arrest you.
It's
You
true.
know?
That's right.
You give the police
That's right. That
permission
authority.
because don't forget, there are 3 sections to this thing. The authority of the police is one, the judiciary.
Yeah.
Then
And
the
the executive.
administration is the whole of the parliament. The executive is the government.
That's
What's
right.
called the cabinet.
That's right.
So the police have their role to play. And that is why a minister who is not satisfied that these guys have an objective role to play in visiting St. Jude, the minister can say to the commissioner of police, these guys have written to me, we had 2 days notice, we have not discussed it in cabinet, but I've spoken to the prime minister, and the conclusion is that they ought not to visit St. Jude. They would not be welcome. Having said that to you, as the commissioner of police, you must now know what to do to make sure that nobody who is not a worker or who is not invited and approved by the government comes in there.
It's not allowed. So, Michael, this St. Jude's visit and this letter, I think that is to stir up some kind of controversy.
Of course
I
it
just
is.
believe that.
But you know, when we first started and you posed the question to me, I was prepared to give it some thought. But listening to all the callers today, I'm not in a position to make any decision. But I think the callers are indeed correct. You can tell the people carefully that what the word the guy used, when convenient.
Yeah, when
You
convenient.
will get back to them.
That's right.
And then you wait when it is truly convenient to the government.
And if they are not satisfied with that response and they decide to go down there, you think they should be arrested?
No, definitely. You put the SSU there in there. Put a couple of SSU girls. You know that they're going to.
But the caller who...
But you said something, which you're correct, that they will try to. They will.
They will.
So you put a couple of SSU guys there to protect the property and give them your orders. Yeah.
I agree with that.
But the caller who called and said, use the word convenient, kudos to him.
Yes.
This is exactly the correct
answer.
I
agree.
One line.
Yeah, one line.
Yeah, that was our brother. Well, I don't want to mention his name.
That's okay.
But,
whoever he was, or is, sorry, that was the exact correct. I was trying to remember the words, Michael.
Yeah, convenient. Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here, Champagne.
Yes.
I want to thank St. Lucia, as usual, for all their participation today. I'm extremely proud of 2 things that have happened. One, over the Easter, even though we've had a couple of cases, which was expected, because it is difficult to control a nation of 180,000 people with 1,500 police officers, but the police did a good job.
They did great.
And also for the arrival of the 25,000 AstraZeneca vaccines that arrived there is another plus. And also, I'm quite keen to see the reaction of the opposition and by extension the National Trust concerning the low parity property. I think that's a good test that has come at a very good time when you can make a very decent comparison. As a result, this is even more land. It's a project that's already started. They have houses on it and everything else. The golf course has been set out, so let's take it from there.
What percentage are we going to see regarding the lap corridors? Is it up there 60% that there's for sure a developer that wants it?
No, there are 2 developers who have expressed interest.
Expressed interest.
Interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm just saying, before these people, whoever comes in will be very careful after what has happened at Cabot. That has sent a very bad signal. But I think right now that the people who are so adamant about what should have been done should now come forward and give St. Lucia an opportunity to see whether they were talking nonsense or whether they deserve to be listened to.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I too believe, Champagne, and that will be my closing remark. The most important development, as far as I'm concerned, is the announcement that there are people, at least 2 developers, who are interested in La Paradis. It is time, it is past high time that we do something about it as a country. And if there's any ideas that can be contributed by the official opposition, I think the Prime Minister, as Minister of Finance and Development together, it is Minister of Development, Guy Joseph, should be able to sit down with them or write to them and find out what is it they can contribute. But I think this is the most exciting thing that I've heard in a little while, and that needs to be put cost.
Yeah.
Because this is my idea of development.
I agree.
Taking the land as raw as you came to find it, okay, and doing something about it. Adding manpower, adding your brains, adding your designs, adding equipment, bringing in roads and water, giving people work, developing housing. That is my idea of development.
Yeah.
Okay?
I agree.
So I believe the parody is the most exciting thing I've heard.
Yes.
For a little
For
while.
a long time, and all the people in that area.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Michael, from a business standpoint, what level? Let's assume the developer comes in, makes this place beautiful as it has professed to be. What level?
Now, before the people put their money where their mouth is, they need to come up now and say, look at me, this is what we would like to see. And in which case, if what they are saying is correct, you could pass it on to the developer.
Because with all the 15 years that place has sat there, they will, and you know them, will want to take some form of credit.
Sure,
they will want to take, regardless of the disaster, they will want to take some credit. This is what these people are about. Yeah. Anyway.
I agree,
Thanks a lot,
so we'll
gentlemen.
See how it goes. Champagne,
have a great Wednesday. Let me ask Brother Peter before we close that same question. What level of credit you think that the SLP should have, Brother Peter, if La Parade really comes and becomes a beautiful project?
It depends on what input they have.
Well,
when they're consulted.
I'm only going based on what they have done so far in them starting it off from 15 years ago.
But how can you take credit for something that you started and never finished? In fact, you made the land worse than it was.
Okay.
So you can't talk about credit in a failed program.
In a failed program, I agree.
No, you can't. You have to think carefully of what you say and use the correct words.
That's right.
You can't give anybody credit for failure.
Listen to me. I'm going to ring the bell on that.
You give credit for passes.
As a matter of fact, when you cut the ribbon, that's
you have a good day too. And when you cut the ribbon and you people are happy, they're working, that's when you give credit.
I agree. Thanks for the advice.
You take care of yourself.
All right, Senator, once again, that was our two honorable statesmen, Brother Peter Josie and Sir Michael Chastanet, on another Wednesday, as we do every single Wednesday. We want to say thank you to those two gentlemen for always taking the time to come here at Sky FM every Wednesday, and this is to our two honorable statesmen. Senator, it is 12:40, and unfortunately, I will not be able to be with you for another extended time. Today, we are not doing overtime. Tomorrow, we will do some overtime, but today, as always, boy, I have to do what I have to do, go down to the south. This is what my life is about, Senator. I have to come here, spend 3-4 hours, and then try to go down to the airport to try to make me $1. I'm not like some of you guys that are well relaxed at home and you have everything. Everything is already made. So I want to say thank you very much for tuning in into Sky FM again today. And this afternoon, the man, Dr. Secret, will be here as always from at about 4:30. The gentleman will be here with us in studio to bring you the program, Dr. Sigwe Ankominu. And after that, at 8 o'clock, the man, Ricky Alexander. Let me check my phone here to see what guest he's going to have. I didn't get a message from him yesterday and this morning. So let me see here if I have anything from him in regards to his guest tonight. And I am searching my phone here. And I'm not seeing anything from the man, so I will not be able to give you a guest for him for this evening, so I guess he will have to announce this a little later or when he comes in. So this is pretty much the rest of the program, and we're going to some music, and at about 4:30 today, this afternoon, the man Dr. Secret will be in studio with the program Dr. Sigwe Komino. I will be back here tomorrow morning. Love you from Sky FM. You have a great afternoon, and God bless you.